Hey my loves, welcome back to Purest Love. I'm Kara if you're new. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I also want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed, new and vintage. I don't want to say old, but thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you guys. Today's video is dedicated to the holidays. With the holidays fastly approaching, and I know the stress that it can bring on, I wanted to share with you guys some tips and tricks to survive and thrive and just rock this holiday out. A lot of times, you know, we put unnecessary stress on ourselves. With Thanksgiving, it's a moment to give thanks, to be happy for what we have and what we are going to be obtaining in life. Don't let that unnecessary stress weigh you heavy this season. And I want to give you guys some tips and tricks to survive in the kitchen. Tip number one, plan. You know, planning is your best friend. You know, plan your menu, plan your decor, plan everything in advance. You can get a frame of mind or a scheme of how you want things to go that evening. With your menu, preparation and organization. Try to prep things, as many things as you can in advance. For instance, your veggies. Wash, chop, and store them in your freezer until the day. You find veggies in the freezer section, so they store very well. Things like collard greens. I already have them washed and separated and chopped up and in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, ready to go in that pot. Now, if you don't want to go through that trouble of ripping and tearing up greens or snapping peas, use the freezer section ones. Or use the ones that are in the produce section and just freeze them. You know, you could buy them a month in advance and pop them in your freezer and have them ready. Your potatoes, whether it's yams or white potatoes, peel them, chop them, and freeze them. It saves you time and energy. This way you're not, you know, slaving away in the kitchen, trying to rush and hurry. You know, you have guests coming or hubby and kids are, I'm hungry. This way, it's already ready to go. You just throw it in a pot, click that, put on your seasonings, your water, turn that dial, and let it ride. Also, when cooking other things, you know, organization, like I said, is key. You know, get all of your ingredients out, put them in a neat pile, or put them in. Now, I don't do measuring. I'm kind of old school with cooking sometimes. I don't do a teaspoon of this, dash of that. I cook from my soul. So I usually just have everything lined up. My savory, my sweets, everything in their categories. So that I can just grab and go. But if you do measuring while you're cooking, have it already ready in little containers or little dishes. This way you can just and go. Also, if you need, because I know the worst thing during the holidays, like Thanksgiving, is to put something in the oven or put something on the stove and forget about it. If you have to, I mean, we have smartphones. Use them. You can set a timer or an alarm for every last thing that you're cooking in the kitchen and put a little note. So when it goes off, you know, oh, my pie is in the oven or my rolls are in the oven or anything, you know, to remind yourself, especially if you have kids, because it's usually, you know, you're going to be distracted with the little ones because they need your attention. Tip number two. As far as our little humans go, my grandmother was always good with giving us something to do in the kitchen. Not necessarily, depending on the age range. You know, the bigger kids, let them help in the kitchen. This is how they learn. This is how you pass down traditions. Don't just shoo them out of the kitchen because it can be chaotic when you're moving about. Give them a task. Give them something to do. This way they'll feel included. They'll feel a part of the event. And really and truthfully, they won't be in your way because they'll be focused on what their task is. Now for our tiny little people, it's kind of hard, you know. they're 9 times out of 10 not going to be participating in what we're making. They can now. They can. If you let them shake something in, oh my God, it will blow their minds if they can just pour something in a bowl. They love it. I do that with DJ sometimes when I'm making dinner. I'm like, here, hold this, shake, 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 and he loves it. Not that he's doing all of the shaking, but he feels like he's participating, and I'm getting what I need to get done. Now, as far as, like I said, as far as our little people, give them something that's, if they do put it in their mouth, it'll be okay. A lot of times I'll take some powdered sugar. I'll put the powdered sugar in a bowl. I'll give him a spoon and I'll let him go at it. And he's thinking that, you know, he's making the best creation in life. And he's having fun. Or you can make them their own little dough and let them knead the dough. And while they're doing what they're doing, it's also a sensory activity. They're getting their hands dirty, things that they love to do. You can get little fake little knives or forks and give them a stalk of celery and let them, my grandmother was good for that too. She would give us celery and let us like pretend to cut it up. Oh my goodness. And the best part, I didn't really notice it when I was little because I thought that what I was doing was being used in the cooking, but I noticed it when my younger siblings and my younger cousins, when I was older, when grandma would give them the stuff and they would come over and they'd be like, here you go, grandma, my celery for the stuffing is ready. And she'd be like, oh, thank you so much. And what I didn't know was that celery was headed to the trash. But in our minds, we like so excited because, you know, I participated. So yeah, definitely let them help out. It'll get them out of your hair and you can focus. Don't stress yourself with, oh my goodness, I have to have the best little tiny salt and pepper shakers. It'll make everything go. Don't do that. Don't stress yourself out. It's not that deep. It really is not that deep. A lot of times you'll sit there and you'll nitpick on those. I hate, like I've done that. I'll be like, oh my goodness, I have to have this, I have to have this. And then it'll be something that nobody either pays attention to or they'll end up loving something else that I was like, oh, I just grabbed that from the dollar store. So don't stress yourself. It's not what this season is about. And if you do feel overwhelmed, ask for help. Don't have to take this journey on by yourself. I always say that. We want to throw those capes on, but sometimes we need to share the cape with someone else. And remember, food is to be cooked with love anyway. So if you're stressing yourself out, you run the risk of messing up that favorite dish that you wanted to make, or forgetting an ingredient, or dropping something, breaking something. When we're very antsy and we're in a rush, things fall through the crack. And that goes with anything and everything in life. So pace yourself. Take a deep breath. When you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, take a deep breath and know that it will be okay. You cook for everyone 364 other days in this year, and no one has complained before. So don't let this stress you out. And for all of my first time, I remember hosting the holidays for the very first time, and it can get overwhelming. But you just have to remember what's important and what the purpose of this moment is. And you'll be okay. I promise you, you'll be okay. I survived, and you can too. With all that being said, this is your to-do list. These are the only things that you have to do. Wake up and be awesome. That is all you have to do. Everything else is a subcategory. You can put it all into being awesome. If you need something to be cooked properly, be awesome while cooking it. The holiday of Thanksgiving fastly approaching in a couple of days. Remember, all of the unnecessary stuff isn't important. What's important is family, friends, fun, and love. Just remember that. While you're preparing for the holidays, just remember my to-do list. Wake up, be awesome. So until we meet again, stay positive. And happy Thanksgiving!